I'm sorry I didn't set up my camera before I put the thingy down. But, so I was messing with the filter. I know the lighting in here is terrible and you can't see me that well, that's why I have it on a black and white filter. But, sorry, my thingy is bothering me. I'm recording on the crappy camera again today because I tried filming with this one and it's still having problems, so I'll probably have to buy a new one. But, so again, I did a video like this a while ago, and since it was a lot of fun to make, and I thought of some more things, and since I know a lot of you guys liked it, I thought I would make another one. So this is, Weird Things I Thought Growing Up / Things I Thought as a Kid Part 2. The first really weird thing I thought as a kid was, I know a lot of people have thought this in the past because there is thingy to it. There's a catch to it, which definitely makes you think this when you're younger. I know a lot of other people who have thought this. When it says, when you see signs that say, like, don't drink and drive, when you first see those when you're a little kid, like, I remember I first saw my first no drinking and driving sign when I was, like, 8. And, of course, I thought that meant, I didn't understand what that meant, so I thought that literally meant with, like, every kind of drink. Like, if my mom had a Pepsi in the car and she was drinking it, I'd be looking at her like, Mom, you're drinking and driving, you're not supposed to do that. So I felt like I was keeping some kind of dark secret. And I felt kind of like a terrible person, and then I realized what that actually meant, and I was like, oh, okay. I also, another thing that's related to driving, I didn't understand how parking tickets worked. So I thought that, if you got pulled over for something, that literally either, like, anybody could pull you over, like, it wasn't just the cops. Like, I thought that if, I went up to someone and like, if I was driving and I accidentally bumped the back of somebody's car, that person could go away. Sorry, that was my mom. I thought that person could pull me over and that person had the right to give me a parking ticket. And a lot of these things have to do with driving, and that person could give me a parking ticket. I didn't know that only cops had the right to do that, because my mom got in a big fight with, this is a kind of side story, so, story to go with this one. My mom and I, we were at I don't remember how long ago this was, a while ago, I was like maybe in 4th grade, so, we were, at a Toys R Us getting something for my friend for a Christmas present. And when we got there, it was a really, really windy day, and this lady who was parked next to us, she was just sitting in her car not doing anything. And my mom, she opened the door of the car, and our door, because it was so windy, it blew open and it hit the side window on the woman's car. And she got out of her car, she looked at us, she didn't say anything, like, hey, you just hit my window, you shouldn't have done that. She didn't, sorry, I messed with the computer right now because it came back on. So she didn't say anything, and so we're like, oh, okay, you're not being very nice. She just gave us a dirty look. We went into the store, and we come back out a half hour later. This woman moved her car while we were in the store. Like, she reparked, and she had this tiny little dent on the side of her car, and she moved her car to make it look like we made that tiny little scratch on the side of her car, even though our door hit her mirror. And she gets out, and she and my mom start screaming at each other. She called the cops. The cops took forever to get there. Then they figured out the situation. Of course, they exchanged insurance information, and the woman never called, and we never had to pay for her little scratch on her car, which didn't happen actually, and it was just a big waste of time. But yeah. So like, I thought that like if you hit anybody, like me and my family had the right to give other people parking tickets. If, like, they hit us, and they had the right to give us parking tickets if we hit them. So yeah. Another weird thing that I thought the little clicker thingy that opens your car, I thought that could work on anybody's car. And, that's pretty self-explanatory because it opens your own car from far away. I thought that would work on anybody else's car, and I'm like, who would think to do that? Like, other people could break into your car, why would you have that? And then as I got older, I realized that was in fact not the case. So, yeah. Another weird thing that I thought, when I was little, I had a dog, and I had him a very long time, and we had to put him down about maybe last summer in August, and I miss him very much, but, I have a few videos of him on my channel, but, I thought that when I left the house to go to school or whatever, and he was left home alone, that he would turn into a human and that his whole dog thing was just an act. And I thought that there was like a little, because he had such a big personality, I thought that there was a little person inside of him that possessed his soul, and that he would, like, when me and my mom left the house to go shopping, or if I went to school, that he would actually, like, stand up, walk on two legs, and eat and drink and lie down and watch TV. I thought that he could literally, like, turn into a human when I wasn't in the house, and his whole dog thing was just an act. And I thought the same thing with my cats when I was growing up for some weird reason, even though none of them really liked me, because my cats don't like me for some odd reason, even though my name is Cat. That's weird. Okay, so another thing that I thought had to do with a couple years ago when I first started coloring my hair, I thought that when you put hair dye in your hair that you left it in there, which you do. But I didn't understand that you had to rinse it. So when I started, like, temporarily dyeing my hair with, like, Kool-Aid and stuff like that, and, like, you know, like, food coloring, and I would make my own temporary dyes and stuff like that, even though it's, like, washout, you're supposed to put it in your hair, leave it on for, like, an hour or two, and then rinse it. But I didn't understand the rinsing process. I was like, doesn't that make the color wash out of your hair? I don't understand this. So I thought that there was just, like, a glitch in the computer, or that everybody just had fake hair. So what I would do was, if I dyed I remember a few years ago, I dyed all of my hair black, and it looked really cool. I wish I could put a picture somewhere, but I don't think it'll let me do that because the picture's on my iPod. But, so it was black, all of it was black, and it looked pretty awesome. But the thing was, I literally would sleep. I left the dye in my hair, and I kept it there. Like, I thought that's how hair dye worked. I thought you put the stuff in your hair, and you left it all in there and just waited for the color to, and just waited for it to dry out and then go about your business. I didn't understand that you had to rinse it out after you finished. And then when I got older and started actually dyeing my hair with actual hair dye, I realized that in fact was not the case. And I felt like an idiot. Another thing, I had a very hard time understanding the word inconceivable. And because of this, mostly like at family parties or when I was trying to talk and sound like an adult, because I have a very expanded vocabulary, so when I was like in the 6th and 7th grade, my vocabulary was expanding, and I started using that word inconceivable. I heard somebody in an interview once, I'm not going to name names, but they used it wrong. They said, that was unconceivably funny. That was the first time I ever heard the word, and I thought, that's a big word. I should use that more often to sound more intelligent. I'm going to add that to my vocabulary. So I said the word as unconceivable for the longest time, and so my mom corrected me, because she's an English teacher, and she said, honey, it's inconceivable. And I'm like, wait, what? Because he said, Franzi, he said in the interview that it's unconceivable, and she said, no, honey, no, it's inconceivable. Have you ever seen The Princess Bride? See what I did there? But, so yeah, I used that word wrong for a good 2-3 years of my life, and now that I look back on it now, I realize that I in fact, did not sound intelligent, I sounded like a dumbass. So, yeah. Let's see. What was another one? Oh, yeah. I thought, another thing that I thought that when you logged into Facebook or anything like that from your computer, this one's actually pretty logical. I thought that when you logged into Facebook from your computer, that like if you forgot to log out, like anywhere in the world, your Facebook would still be open. Like I remember when I first got my Facebook when I was like maybe in the 5th grade, and I first started using Facebook because I've been using it for a while now, and I would log on, and then I forgot to log out, and so my family, we went to New York for Christmas, like we always do, to visit my grandma, and we were staying in a hotel in Canada, because we had to, you know, I live in Michigan, so Michigan, drive up through Canada, come back down, you're in New York. And, so we were staying in a hotel in Canada, a totally different country, and I remembered I forgot to log out of my Facebook before we left. So I'm in Canada, and I'm panicking, thinking that all the people in the world logging on Facebook right now, like they click on the little icon on their computer, and my Facebook comes up, and they can hack on my stuff. I'm just like, Mom, you have to drive me back home right now. I forgot to log out of my Facebook, and so many people are going to hack my account. I was freaking out, having a nervous breakdown, and it just was not fun. And this next one was actually my dad's fault, because he still likes to tease me and things like that. He always liked to tease me as a child, and I found it annoying, of course, and he still does it now. But as a child, I took a lot of things literally, and so I remember he would always tell me, like, if you eat your vegetables and you eat stuff, it'll make you strong. But there was a plant, I don't remember exactly what it was called, I think it was Queen Anne's lace, but I could be wrong. And he told me that if you take the top of the flower, because it's very, like, lacy, snowy, it's very pretty, if you take the top part of the flower, like the flowery part, twist it, stick it up your nose, and leave it there for half an hour, that you will wake up the next day and you'll have superpowers. And I'm not sure where he got that from, but that's what he told me. And so I was legitimately convinced. So we were hiking, I found some Queen Anne's lace, took 2 of the flowers, twisted them up, stuck them in my nostrils, walked like that the rest of the day, kept talking about what superpowers I want. And then I was sitting in bed that night. I woke up the next day, I prayed for like super strength, super speed, the power to fly, tried to jump off my bed, landed on my face, ended up looking like an idiot. And, yeah. A lot of these, there will be another video that's completely about weird things that my dad does. Because let's be real, I love my dad, but he can be really, really annoying sometimes, and some of the things that he does are really weird, but they're hilarious. So I'm going to make an entire video dedicated to my dad, and he's going to be with me. So, yeah. So that's all for this video, you guys. I hope you liked it. If you do like it, which I hope you do, do me a favor and hit that like, subscribe button. I hope you liked the video, and until next time, have a good day or night or whatever.